Hi, I'm Tracy. Welcome to Yoga for Everybody. This is Pepper. She's insisting on being in the video today, so we'll see how that goes. We're going to get our bodies in ready shape for getting out there and doing some gardening. I know my body needs it, and so that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to work on some squats. It helps with our knees and our lower back. So we're going to start in a forward bend. So I'm just going to tuck my toes under, round up through the spine, and get into a forward bend. And maybe Pepper's going to go and take a little walk. So as you're in a forward bend, we want our feet about hip width apart. Kind of get some separation in the toes. And we're just going to lengthen our breastbone forward out into a long flat back. When you're ready, on a nice exhale, you're going to pull that lower navel in and just lower all the way down. In this first forward bend, you may need to walk one knee out and then the other. Just kind of loosening up the back of the thighs. And when those kind of loosen up a little bit, you just kind of go to straight legs, but you don't want to totally lock out the knees. So they're kind of just maybe a little bounce into them and they're comfortable. And then as you're breathing here, I always say we're going to do what's called a forward bend breath. So you're going to put that breath into your lower back. As you breathe in, you want to feel like you're filling up that lower back with breath. As you exhale, you're going to take your sit bones and tip them up to the sky as the crown of the head just slides toward your toes. So on the inhale, you fill up your lower back with breath. As you exhale, the tailbone tips towards the ceiling and your head slides towards your toes. So you can do a couple breaths there, and then we're going to take this to a squat. It's very simple to get there. All we're going to do is we're going to turn our toes outward and take our tailbone and drop it down to the floor. And you're in the squat. Some people have a hard time with their heels coming down. To get your heels down, just take your feet a little farther apart, and those heels might have a tendency to going down a little farther. When you're in your squat, you don't want to be slack in your joints. You want the strength of the legs to hold you up. You can take your arms on the inside of the legs and encourage those legs open a little bit wider. So here we're getting some length in that lower back. So we're just going to go back and forth between the two poses. On an inhale, you drop your fingertips to the floor. Take that tailbone back up to the sky. You're going to turn your toes to center. Lengthen that breastbone out, long, flat back. On your exhale, pull that belly button in and drop down to your forward bend. Here you'll take a good breath. So on your inhale, fill up your lower back. On your exhale, tip the sit bones. Let your head slide towards the floor. On your next inhale, turn your toes out, drop the tailbone down, coming to your squat. And you'll just transition back. So it's just a back and forth motion with the breath, nice, slow and easy. Lengthen out that spine, lower down. So as you're doing this, what you're doing is encouraging that synovial fluid, the fluid in your joints, to start moving. We don't want it staying as it might have been through the winter. We're getting it moving through the joints. And we're putting some motion through this lower spine. And here we're also getting some strength going through that lower spine where you need it when you're out there gardening. I definitely do. So you can do that as many times in each position. And usually when I finish, I like to finish back into my forward bend, lengthening out, coming into my forward bend, and just relaxing, taking a few breaths there. And then you can come back down to sitting. So you can do that a few times, kind of just getting motion through the spine, motion through the joints. And it's a good thing to start when you're ready to get out there and garden, or when you're just needing to move the body throughout the day. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.